All right, so for this project, we're going to start with sap green or any green you have, as long as it's not too light. Sap green, because we're working on black gesso, if we put sap green right now, it will it will turn green when it dries, like dark green. But instead of seeing black, we'll see dark green. Then we'll take it from there. So we'll start with the background. We don't need a very dark green, just kind of sap is good. So I'm going to take any, I'm using a bright, any brush would do. And I'm just going to go there, go in and just give a coat of green. And it doesn't have to cover completely, just here and there. So you don't see, we don't want to see the black gesso, but we need this black, like we need this dark. Actually, I shouldn't say black, it's dark. We need that for depth. This is what makes this painting look, or this reference look really interesting, is that depth in the back, the shadow in the back. I'm just putting it randomly. Okay. Round, small brush. And I'm just going to take white, a little bit of green in my white, light green. And I'm just going to try to create these little dots in the back, or, you know, just to show the sky behind the greens. So round brush, small one, and randomly. Some of them are small, some of them big. Okay. We're good. All right, so now we're putting leaves on top. So I'm using sap green and a little bit of yellow. I'm using cadmium yellow light, cadmium yellow medium, yellow ochre, whatever you have, it doesn't matter. Just a bit so we can see them. We can see them, but we don't want them to be too strong. This is the first layer. We are going to put another layer there where we start highlighting some of them, not all of them. So some will look like they're in the back, you know, you'll see a hint of leaves in there, and some will be more highlighted in the front. I'm using a round brush, or any brush, use any brush you feel comfortable with to do those leaves. So you see here, I'm not doing random, like I'm not doing a quick, fast hint of leaves. I'm really putting leaves, like shape of leaves in here. I'm shaping them. We can put as many as we want. There's no limit. Okay. The side, the right side here, shape of the leaves are a bit different. Looks like a different tree. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now I'm using sap green, yellow ochre, and cadmium yellow light. So the reason I use yellow ochre with my sap green when I am highlighting is to change the color of the sap green that comes out of the tube from an artificial green into like a more of a subdued natural green. So before I use cadmium yellow light, I put a bit of earthy tone, an earth tone, which is yellow ochre, in my sap green. And now I'm going to highlight some of the ones in the front. And then we will highlight them a little bit more after. My green looks like this. Well, brownie. I didn't mix that one yet with yellow ochre. Maybe I have a little bit too much yellow. It's okay. Doesn't matter. They're not the focal point. The chairs and the table are the most important part. These are just in the back. They're just nice because they just pop. You can see some of it, some of these. And this is just sap green and yellow ochre. And cadmium yellow light. Yeah. I'm gonna highlight some of the ones in the back a little bit so they don't look completely disconnected. I'm going to introduce a little bit of white at this point in my green, and then put a strong highlight on a couple. I'm going to take a bit of yellow ochre and put tiny bit of green in it, and just kind of add a bit of yellow ochre here and there on these leaves, right there. And a couple here. Random. Just gives the different texture, different interesting brush strokes here and there. So it's not only the same all over. And I can see them in the reference too. Okay. A couple right here on the side. Now, in the back, all right, I'm going to take sap green and a bit of the yellow ochre only, and in here I'm going to put a couple right there, suggestion right there, in here behind this chair, just a couple of brush strokes, and leave it. All right, let's take burnt umber and round brush, and I'm just going to put a hint of a tree in the back. Let's say something like that. We can. I'm going to highlight it a bit after, but for now, placing it. It doesn't matter how it looks really, because it's just a hint in the background. Okay, so now I have a hint of a tree in the back. I'm going to take a bit of yellow ochre, or even a tiny bit of white. Whatever you have, it doesn't matter. Just to mix your color with the brown, and highlight a bit, some of it. It looks on the screen, it looks lighter than what it should be. It's darker here, but on the screen it looks lighter. It's just because of the camera. Just burnt umber? Pardon? Yeah, just burnt umber, and I put a bit of white in my burnt umber. Or if you have leftover yellow ochre, mix it with your burnt umber to I don't want it to be too strong in the back. Now, if you've done this, actually, I'll wait a bit for you to do it. Jeez, it's a lot. Right, burnt umber, yellow ochre, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do these in the corner randomly, put them in different direction, not all in the same direction. Some of them are going this way, some of them that way. Let's put a bit of water in here so we get the brush to move. Now I'm going to take a bit of yellow ochre, put it in here so I can get a bit of highlight. Mix it well with your brown. Because it dries really dark. Brown brush. The only reason I'm getting this straight kind of brush stroke that is, the only reason my brush is cooperating is just because the paint is watered down. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit more of the yellow ochre, and I'm going to put stronger highlights here and there. Okay, so now I'm just taking just sap green, and I put a tiny bit of yellow in my sap green, very small amount. Water my color down, my paint. And all I'm doing is I'm creating a faint shape in the back of greenery. Just a hint of green in the back, randomly. That's it.
on top of the other green?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, a little bit of kind of a
Foliage.
yeah hint of green in the back. Okay, for the first week, this is what we're at. Next week, we'll continue with the background. And then we'll start with the main chairs and table.